I can't tell you just how happy I am that we've won that. Today, before the game, I mean, this week has gone really slowly, but today in particular has gone so exceedingly slowly. I was so nervous about this game. I was more nervous than any exam I've ever taken in my life. I was just as nervous as I was about the 14 Cup final, the '06 Champions League final. I was 10 years old. My God, yeah, I was a real bag of nerves. So I'm delighted we've won, and it didn't look like it was going to be that way early on into the game. It started almost identically to the way we started that game against Hull City, but we turned it around and we've won 14 FA Cups. Unbelievable. It is honestly unbelievable. And when you take this game in perspective, this achievement in perspective, I think it's so remarkable that Arteta has taken this job by the absolute reins. He's transformed this Arsenal team from the mess it was in under Unai Emery, turned it into a real monster at times, and he's able to put in performances like we've seen against Manchester City, like we've seen today, and he's won a major trophy in his first season. Now, whatever you think of the FA Cup, he's made this competition his own. From day one, the likes of Emery, Ljungberg, even Wenger have had no real input in what Arteta has done in this tournament. He came in was it December, January time, and he's really transformed this team. In the FA Cup particularly, where he's really made it his own. I think it's a phenomenal achievement, and honestly, I don't think he gets enough press. I think he deserves so much credit considering he's never managed in football. He's come into a team mid-season that was in such a dire state of form, and they turned it around in just such a massive way, and that's all down to him, and I'm so overjoyed for him. I mean, even Frank Lampard had that season at Derby. And I've got to say, credit where it's due to Frank Lampard, because what he's done with a Chelsea side that's got, that hadn't spent any money. I mean, we know they're buying the likes of Ziyech, Werner. They'll undoubtedly spend more money this summer. But to have got that team into Champions League football, I don't want to big up Chelsea too much, but I mean, you've got to hand it to him. Frank Lampard has done a good job with that Chelsea side. It generally excites me in terms of football that young managers are coming through and doing such good jobs. And Arteta is certainly one of them. What he's instilled in this Arsenal team is fantastic. And these players, their mentality is brilliant as well. And someone in particular I want to talk about is Maitland-Niles and the way he's transformed his career at Arsenal in the past 6-7 months, really, because back in January when Arteta first came in, we knew he was out the team. We were all under the assumption that he was out of favour, that he'd be out of the club as soon as we could possibly cash in on him. But Arteta has turned this guy around, and I think it says more about the likes of Guendouzi and possibly Mesut Ozil that they've not worked their way back into the team because they've not adapted to the way that Arteta wants to bring a culture to Arsenal. Someone like Maitland-Niles has really transformed, and he's played in arguably our two most important games of the season. He's an FA Cup winner, and he's thoroughly deserving of that status as well. And I sincerely hope that he stays on at Arsenal. We know there's talks of him wanting to leave the club supposedly because he's not getting enough game time, but he's so versatile. He's such a good option in this Arsenal team, and I really think that he's got a good opportunity to be a big part of this Arsenal side. It was his 100th appearance today, so it's not like he's a bit part player at Arsenal. He's a player that is here with a purpose, and I think he definitely served that today. Of course, the man of the hour, Aubameyang, with 2 goals and 4 goals in the semi-final and the final. When you look at it that way, against Manchester City and Chelsea, there was talk of him not being a big game player when he first came to the club, but he's really staked a claim as an Arsenal legend, in my opinion. This season has just really proven that to me. At 31 years of age, to do what he's doing, even though somersault celebrations is something else, but the goal he scored, that second one, the penalty first was emphatic. To win the penalty was brilliant. That run just to lose Azpilicueta, so much pace about him, gets into those positions. Tierney always looking up for Aubameyang, and as I say, winning the penalty, scoring the penalty was fantastic because it's you know, there's a lot of pressure, an awful lot of pressure in FA Cup final. To take it with such confidence was fantastic. And then the goal, I mean, absolutely dumbfounding Zuma. But first of all, Hector Bellerin with the run, and then Pepe with the assist. I mean, Pepe was phenomenal in this game in terms of work rate, constantly running up and down the pitch. And yeah, to put it away with such arrogance, elegance and swagger was fantastic. And that is a goal that is deserving of an FA Cup win. But it didn't look like it was going to be that straightforward, because in that first 5-10 minutes, we were on the ropes. It really looked like it was going to be a bad start. I think Arteta got the team selection spot on, but Holding looked incredibly nervy. And the way Chelsea carved us open for that first goal, simple pass through Xhaka and Ceballos, and you're thinking, Jorginho and Kovacic could really have the better of us in this game. But thankfully, after their first goal, I mean, they did have another opportunity through Pulisic, and we were fortunate not to go. I say fortunate, it was a good save from Emi Martinez, but they did have opportunities, and if they'd have scored with that dominance, it could have been a very different game to the one that's concluded. But fortunately, we rode that wave, and after that, really started to impose ourselves on the game. And it looked like we were going to score any minute. And thankfully, we did through that Aubameyang penalty. And obviously, the controversy went into Sean Connery mode for a minute there, is surrounding Azpilicueta, because a lot of people were thinking that he should have got a red card, and obviously he's got a yellow because the officials are under the assumption that Rudiger is covering him. And as the game went on, you can kind of forgive the referees for not taking Azpilicueta off the pitch, and it's a really tough one, because I think if Aubameyang goes down outside the box, then Azpilicueta has quite rightly denied a clear goal scoring opportunity. It's a straight red card, but because first of all it's a penalty, the referee's in two minds: can he give a penalty and a red card? And then you've got Rudiger coming in as well, but the foul starts outside the box, so technically I believe it should be a red card. But as the game unfolded, you'll see why. I'm sure what we can all kind of forgive the referee on that one, because he did make a mistake in the second half. I think we can all agree that foul from Kovacic on Xhaka was not worthy of a second yellow card. It's, I'm more than happy to point out terrible refereeing when I see it, and that was terrible refereeing. That was just not a foul. Okay, maybe it was a foul, but it was never a yellow card. And to send off Kovacic for that is extremely unfair. But I think a lot of things did go our way this game, and we can't ignore that fact. Obviously, Azpilicueta going off with a hamstring injury, Christensen coming on, I think changed Chelsea's defence. We saw Zuma go out to right centre-back. And then, of course, Pulisic getting the hamstring injury. He was causing Rob Holding a lot of problems. But Pedro was actually very dangerous when he came on. So I don't know how much of a change that had on the game. But Pulisic was very dangerous when he was on the pitch when Chelsea were counter-attacking. I do think that was a big bonus, him going off the pitch. And then, of course, Kovacic going off. I mean, as I say, I think it was a very harsh yellow card. But when you look at it on the spin of things, when you take the whole season in perspective, and you look at that incident with Azpilicueta in the first half, you could say that could be a red card. And you just think, the reason I'm not too fussed about this, and I know if it had gone against us, we'd all be up in arms, we'd be absolutely fuming, but the number of times that type of decision has gone against us this season is ridiculous. But take the refereeing decisions out of the equation, take away the injuries. If you look at us, we've had injuries this season. We've had decisions go against us multiple times this season. And it's just football. It's the way it works sometimes. And I can't sugarcoat the fact that refereeing in England is terrible, because it is. It is really poor. And that was highlighted again today. But I do think we were a better team on the occasion. I thought we played some really good football today. We worked really hard for it. We really wanted it. And Frank Lampard, I thought, was quite honest in his interview after the game, saying that Chelsea played with a certain type of arrogance. They really let their foot off the gas, and I think we've come out as deserved winners, and I'm really pleased with this, because I think it's a real, hopefully I hope it's a symbol for improvement at the club, because as good as the previous FA Cup wins have been in 14, 15 and 17, have we really become a better club after those FA Cup wins? I don't think we have. I think, if anything, we've regressed after those wins. We were such a steady Champions League club, and now, we're finishing 8th in the Premier League. But winning this is important for this group of players to get a trophy under their belt. Does so much good for a club, so much good for a player's mentality. What we have to do now is invest, and we have to do what we haven't done after previous FA Cup wins. We have to improve. We have to make sure the next season, okay, we're not going to be fighting for the Premier League next season, but we've got to be fighting for those Champions League spots. We've got to be going a bit further in Europa League, because we're in that competition now, which is a big bonus to winning the FA Cup. Whatever way you look at it, I was saying a couple of months ago that, I think being out of Europe would have done this team maybe a bit of good, but I mean, financially, it's obviously a boost. It means we can attract a bit more talent from a financial point of view in the window. I don't think many players are going to be looking at Europa League teams and thinking, cool, I really want to play in that competition. But as I say, it gives us that bit more finance, and hopefully it'll give players like Smith Rowe, Eddie Nketiah, even Bukayo Saka more opportunities next season. I know Saka is such a regular, but he's out of the team today, and he's going to want to continue playing at such a young age. He's going to want to continue his appearances in the side. And you've got someone like Matt Smith, who was in the team today. He's going to want appearances. So all this young talent coming through, the Europa League is a good funnel to bring through that talent. So it's a positive in that sense, but the big positive is, of course, silverware. And to win it, for this group of players to win it, for someone like Eddie Nketiah to win the FA Cup and to win the Championship as well. I mean, what a season it's been for him in terms of his development. So I think we can all be buzzing with today. We can all be absolutely buzzing. But yeah, 28 days and we go again at Wembley against Liverpool in the Community Shields. I can't tell you quite how pleased I am about today. It's been a real tough season, and this has really capped off what has been such a turbulent time supporting Arsenal. I mean, when you do look back at how bad we were under Emery, to finish it off with a trophy back in October, November time last year, didn't look like we'd win a trophy for some time, but the club have made the right call bringing Arteta in. I will give them credit for that. And Arteta, I'm confident he's going to do great things at this club, and this was just the start of it today. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments box below. Drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you soon. See you later, guys.